Alright guys, Salam's Schwarzer here. Hope you have a damn good one. Vulcan died last episode. It's pretty fucked up, but it is what it is. Oh goodness. Yeah, it is. Pretty just funny. Yeah, it just wasn't giving it skill level. Who knows? My mom took her mirror, alright? That's the regular rule thing for me. Thought you didn't play a good part in it. I love you all. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's good they all went for us. It was quite a shock when I heard trigger what happened. I'm glad you say, hey, Schwarzer, are you sure you don't want to come with us? You wouldn't be the first Schwarzer to come aboard the crazy, and we'd be more happy to have you. I'm certain that if I were joining you the ship, I would only be a burden. That's due to no small part to my family, especially my presence there, because everyone's in trouble. As necklace as it sounds, I think the best thing I can do for you is stay here and pray for your six. Well, if you're sure, we'll try to let you down. I'd like to imagine Aurora be taking beside me all the time. Okay. Sweet blue. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna eat. Ah, yeah. Huh? Did I just purchase that? Oh, Imperial Chronicle. I forget. Imperial Chronicle. Imperial Chronicle, Twin Dragons Bridge and Rebel Hands. Our latest cables have suggested that one of the recruits province's main base is now in the hands of the former Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. The division is said to be pushing for the immediate liberation of the capital, a demand which has been fiercely criticized by the crews of the provincial army. Further conflict in the region seems likely in the days to come. This is Celtic. The Twin Dragons Bridge was not the only place in the region to fall into enemy hands. The nearby town Celtic, widely known as a trading hub, has been occupied by rebel forces. But for you, dear reader, I have risked life and limb crossing behind enemy lines to offer a picture of life under the brutal heel of the enemy. Actually, the change of control played out rather calmly, said one member of the 7th Church. Much to my surprise, several other citizens informed me that there had been no casualties among them due to the provincial army leaving the area before any battle could take place. In fact, life in the town seemed extremely normal, with even the grand market operating on its usual schedule. I was out and about to enjoy some midday shopping. I asked one merchant what she thought the biggest problem facing the town right now was. Without a doubt, is that with this war on, the grand market has become a shadow of its former glory. The fighting can't end soon enough for me, she replied. All in all, things appear surprisingly stable, but it's difficult to say how long this will remain the case. Those considering a visit would be well advised to remain vigilant while in town. Breaking. Marquise Ragnar questioned neutrality. We've received information stating that Marquise Ragnar, one of the leading members of the Noble Alliance, has made some declaration of neutrality and withdrawn from the group. In the wake of this shocking revelation, we've reached out to the Noble Alliance's own chief of staff, Rufus Alvarez, and has kindly granted us an exclusive interview. The fall of the Twin Dragons Bridge is still fresh in the minds of the nation, but we've been hearing reports that Marquise Ragnar has withdrawn from the Noble Alliance. Is there any truth to these rumors? Chief of Staff Rufus Alvarez, henceforth Lord Alvarez, I'm body for absurdity this matter must have aroused within the general public. Allow me to clarify, the matter hereby determined that this is indeed the case. Interviewer, shocking, but wouldn't that mean the situation is likely to take a turn for the worse for Noble Alliance's efforts in Eastern Arabonia? Lord Alvarez says, not at all. I imagine a journalist as well informed as yourself has a good idea how many rebels remain in that part of the country. It's true that all the reports have suggested the vast majority have been eliminated. The current situation was always within the realm of possibility. Nothing about it calls the Noble Alliance dominance in question. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if his Grand Marquise Ragnar had to change a heart and turn to the Alliance in short order. We extend our deepest gratitude to fucking Lord Alvarez for taking time out of his busy schedule to answer our questions so clearly and concisely. At the end of our interview, he took my hand and asked for my cooperation, helping bring about a bright future for everyone. I was truly honored to meet a man who so embodied the dignity of nobility. Citing Marquise High Arms sends aid. Marquise High Arms has taken steps to recognize and deal with ongoing refugee population problem by offering aid to displaced citizens in his domain. The Sutherland province, when questioned by journalists from this publication about his motives, he simply responded, as head of one of the 4 great houses, I have a duty to use my power to help people in need. He went on to place further aid in the future if and when the need arises. The citizens of the Sutherland province clearly owe their deepest thanks to his grace, the Marquis, for his bountiful kindness and generosity. His gesture is certain to go a long way toward inspire all people to come together for each other during these difficult times. It is a neutral force on the Western Front. News is spreading that a mysterious group calling itself the Winds of Freedom have begun appearing in Western Arabonia. They are currently believed to be asserting their neutrality while aiding civilians caught up in the region's conflict. These and other activities seem to support the claim but their true objective remains unknown. The Noble Alliance, however, has urged citizens to be aware of this strange group, as there remains a very real possibility that it may be a criminal organization with malicious ulterior motives. That is amazing. So I think it's Cedric. Ah, hello, Rean. Hello, Rean. BB little horny slut. Give me an idea to do this just for today. I feel like I should wear a shirt that says "I'm sorry about her" or something. Oh, come on. I'm just having a bit of fun with my 2 best pals. Besides, it's been so long since we've seen each other that she probably missed all the teasing. Really? I'm just happy to see you again. I was so worried this whole time. I never should have left you alone like that. You must have been really scared. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have been the one saying all that. Oh, no, here come tears. Well, here's the dummy Lynn. And there. It's great to see the 2 of you back together again. Rean, we owe you so much. We might not have ever seen each other again if it weren't for Class 7 and the Courageous. Now it's time to return the favor by joining the crew and all I can help out. You better. Since I'm going to keep spicing up your lives as a ship's sexiness officer. That's not I don't think any airship, that's definitely, never mind. I know you're trying to joke to cover the fact that you're crying, but it's really not working. Fine, let's get on that ship. Follow me, I'll show you the way. Alright, man. Thanks, Rean. We'll see you later again. See you on board. Okay. Gambler Jack, Chapter 10, The Rules. 15 minutes before the first race was scheduled to start, Jack and Hallie made their way back to the VIP room where they came face-to-face with Glenn and Nikki again. The rules of the competition were simple. Each side will begin with 100,000 Mira. For each race, each side must purchase one betting ticket, no more, no less. Furthermore, 12 order cards will compete in each race. The type of betting ticket available, meanwhile, were as follows. 1. Show. To win, the chosen car needed to come in either first, second, or third place. This bet type had a high chance of winning, and as a result, the payout was the lowest as well. Win. Type 2, win. To win, the chosen car needs to come in first. This bet type was less likely to succeed than a show bet, but still relatively likely compared to others. As such, eventual winnings were relatively low. 3. Exacted. To win, the chosen 2 cars needed to come in first and second place. The bettor had to also accurately predict which came first and which came second. This bet type was one of the more difficult ones, as such, the potential winnings were relatively high. A trifecta, similar to an exacta, except the bettor needed to predict in order which car would come first, second, and third. This bet type was the least likely to be successful, and therefore paid the highest dividends. Exacta box. Like an exacta, the bettor needed to predict the cars that would come first and second. Like a regular exacta, however, these could be in either order. This bet type was more likely to pay out than exacta because that paid less as well. Trifecta box. Like a trifecta, because the 3 cars would come in any order, as long as one comes first, one second, and one third. This paid out more than exacta box, but less than a regular trifecta. Jack and Leonard would each buy a ticket and then show it to the other for a race again. There was no limit to the amount of Mira that each could bet on one race, so long as they could afford it to bet it. If either ran out of Mira, the other would be the victor. And all 7 races were to take place that day, with 4 in the first half and 3 in the second. The races in the second half, the last particular, paid the highest dividends. Each race usually took about 10 to 15 minutes. Every car was also obliged to make at least one pit stop to charge their car's EP and change tires. EP. Completing the, it's like magic, right? The cars, I don't know, because I know EP's like for earth spells. Completing these actions swiftly and efficiently add another element of challenge to the competition. Large groups and corporations sponsor the teams participating in the race, and the results had implications not just for the teams themselves, but for countless power figures and groups in the Republic who used the races as a proxy for their pride and reputations. The winning teams were also rewarded with vast amounts of Mira. The rules confirmed and agreed upon, Jack and Leonard purchased their first betting tickets, and a battle between them finally began. Oh, that's some shit. Go. Alright, let's go. Big titty Emma. It's amazing that I almost can't take it all in. It's not so much a different city as it is a different world. Nothing's familiar. I know a lot of our casting felt this way, but I grew up in such a rural area I can hardly believe what I'm looking at. Yeah, I felt the same the first time I was here. As a fire department manager, that's for sure. Still, while you're here, why not talk and walk around and take in the sights? It's a bit intimidating, but there's a lot to see. That sounds like a fun idea. And Rean, I know it's hard, but I hope things get better for you soon. Yeah, I hope so too. How about I give you a guide tour of the place? I've been here before, so I should be able to give you this one. At least a grade, but still. Are you sure you wouldn't mind? Yeah, I love that. What a strange sensation. The idea of a movie staircase is incredible, isn't it? True enough. Here's the only one on the continent either. Dice has one in the world too. I was surprised that there were entrances to more cities in Arabonia. What's that big structure over there? An orbital generator. Apparently, they provide energy to this town and its factories need to work. I heard they have plans to make more of them too, or at least they had plans. I'm guessing they've been put on hold until the rifle company's fully reorganized again. It's amazing that technology like this actually exists. It's like magic in a way. It really is, you little bitch. We're going to continue to show Emma around the city, focusing primarily on the things one couldn't find anywhere else. There's a door cream and they decided to stop for her rest. Well, there's so much stake in here that my head is still spinning. Every time I thought I'd seen all there was to see, it led me to something else that was even more incredible. But the same way I felt the first time I was here. It gets even more incredible when you realize that in a few decades, places that look like this could be the norm. You may be right, especially with the way technology is always advancing. You know, I read in a book once, it said technology that is beyond the comprehension of whatever is a single short from magic. That's one we look at, sure, but if that is the case, where does it leave witches like me? If people develop new technology, it's embraced with open arms, but our equally convenient magic sphere is heretical. That's why we're forced to live in the shadows, hiding above our existence and our powers away from the people. Is that the one reason we exist, to fill duties that nobody else even knows about while the world leaves us behind? Sorry, I never realized it felt that way. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. I didn't mean to ramble at you like this. You're shouldering a far heavier burden than I am right now. Another person's worries are the last thing you need. Even more so, my duty as which is support you. I'm sure Grandma and Celine will be very annoyed at me right now. You don't have to be sorry for it, and honestly, all of your concerns make sense to me. I don't think anyone exists to fulfill some arbitrary set of duties, especially you. Really think so? Sure, you're a witch. That doesn't have to define who you are as a person. To us, you're Emma, our class president and our friend, who also just so happens to be a witch. Nobody gets to pick how they're born, but everyone deserves to choose how they want to live their life. I suppose you're right. So don't let being a witch force you into dedicating your life to filling your duties or whatever. Focus on finding something that you want to do. We're all here to help you do that. You know that, right? You're not alone. I don't think anyone in our class has figured out exactly how to live their life either. When you put it that way, there's no supposing about it. Is there? You're right. Thank you, Rean. It might not be easy to find something I want to do for myself, but maybe it's time I start thinking long and hard about it. If I run into any difficulties, though, you'll be the first person I come for. Whenever you need it, I'll be there. We walk around outside, so our conversation even real since it's not fruitful. I've not received the invitation to stay here. There's still some time until we have to leave, so I think I'll spend some quality time curled up with these books instead. Terrence coffee can't be beaten either. In fact, pulling myself away from there might prove to be a real trouble. If I stick around a little longer, it's not at all. We don't get many chances to spend time like this together, so let's make the most of it. Rean could never say no to most Sharon's coffee, and in fact asked her to make another pot for him. With that, he and Princess Alfred spent some time pursuing the countless books scattered in the library. And real coffee has such aroma to it, doesn't it? Sitting back and enjoying a cup of Sharon's coffee and roasting a book, I think I found the very definition of bliss. And well, I can see where you're coming from. It never ceases to amaze me how many books there are in here, or even the variety of topics and genres represented. Because Gwyn has always had a pretty broad range of interests, though, so it makes sense that his library will be as divisive. Indeed, but that only makes it more difficult to decide which volume to read next. Though I must admit, I was a little disappointed to find one particular genre unrepresented here. Which one? The little titillating tales loved by fair ladies all across the Empire. Stories about the lives and laws of handsome gentlemen. Books that warm the hearts of all those who thrilled their pearls. All those books. Remember you saying those books pretty popular at Staying Straight too, right? The Courageous was lacking in that genre too, until Dorothy came and seeded it with some volumes from our own collection. So does at least, have any interest in those kind of books? It's so much more magic just leave truth of things to your imagination. We're talking about a realm created by and for pure heart maniacs after all. It's not a place where gentlemen should tread lightly. Fair enough, I'm curious, but that's not fucking curious. I'm curious, but not that curious. Try to at least regulate your corrupting influence, though. That'd be great. And that's really what you wish. I suppose I ought to respect your wishes. But teasing her is my most cherished pastime. I really prefer to keep at it. I wonder if she realized her shows are mainly just for entertainment. Still, teasing or not, I'm glad Elise has at least one close friend she can depend on. Oh, speaking for entertainment pastimes, I actually learned a delightful little card game called Blade from Cheering yesterday. We can play a few rounds together. That sounds fun. I accept your challenge. and playing. This really is quite an amusing little game. It's nice that even an experienced player like me doesn't start at too great of a disadvantage. The update version is almost straight to it though, but you know, I have a lot of fond memories of this version of the game. I almost can't help but like it. Van Crow was the one who gave me my very first deck of blade cards. Oh really? And it's sad that these two of you find each other, especially after you've all been through each other. But they forced you to act as well. Ultimately, I think it's a battle of wills, and both of us are just too stubborn to just give up and walk away. What do you mean? Rean told President Alfred about everything that happened between him and Crow when dredging about. Yet, through it all, she quietly, considerately listened to finish telling her all that there was to tell. You can think of it as a high-stakes game of blade, Crow on one side and me on the other. Three of us are willing to compromise on the things that made us who we are, our beliefs, our past, our friends. And without compromise, all that's left to us is to meet each other head on and see who comes out on top. I just hope that while we're doing that, we'll discover where life will lead us and what to do with ourselves after this is over. Honestly, boys will be boys, I suppose. But hearing you describe it, I almost envy Crow's position. Why is that? No, I just meant at least would probably think that if she were here now, envy Crow and me. After all, it's almost like fate is pushing you and Crow together. It fills my imagination with thoughts. As a word is wise, guys aren't too hot about being paired up with their male friends when they don't lean that way. I mean, well, like it or not, I consider myself someone fully invested in this line of little battle wheels now. But I intend to stay with you and see how it all pans out. You're more than welcome to come along for the ride, Your Highness, wherever it may take us. Let's see. This is juicy. I'm seeing. Especially since it's sure to leave some juicy developments for us ladies now. Yeah, you gotta waste your own. We're up to Lisa. I'm checking out the rooms to make sure everything's in order. Sharon supposedly put everything back in order now that Director Wagner's gone, but still, it can't help but double check, right? I'd hate if he ran off with 75 on his way out. Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who develops sick fingers. You want a hand or anything? I'm fine, thanks. I've got a pretty good idea of where everything was. There shouldn't be too much trouble. Mother's more than busy enough now, so I might as well just get it done. I mean, two people do a good job just fast, right? I swear. Man, I was just thinking. Swear, I think you up on that. Two of them made their way around the Rhineford household, scattering each and every room for any signs of malfeasance or missing property. Fortunately, Sharon organizing everything the night before didn't take them too long. The chairman's room. They had one room, I mean, it was the chairman's room. Well, I'm glad to see that at least the rooms aren't a complete mess like they were yesterday. Sharon's done a great job cleaning everything up, and it doesn't look like there's anything missing either. Well, that's good news. As much as I feel bad criticizing Angelical's uncle, Otto Rogner must be an absolute slob. You'd think, as a noble, he'd at least pay a little more mind to cleanliness. I feel sorry for his housekeeping staff. From Morgan being noble, he thought he could get away with never having cleaned anything. Prisoner never seemed to have played his ego. You're right. Suddenly having power over someone he was never able to stand against must have been a real threat. Either way, we're almost finished. So here, what is it? I just know something sticking out slightly from between these two of these books. What is this? Oh, it's a photograph of you as a little girl, and that looks like your mother, which would mean, yeah, it's my father. Why is this hidden away in her desk though? Maybe she pulled it out to look at every now and then while she was working, but didn't want anyone to know. Honestly, I'm surprised too, but here it is. I don't think there's any doubt that it's important to her. I guess you're right. I was put the photograph back where she'd found it, and the two of them finished checking the rest of the rooms. Once their work was done, they treated themselves so well deserved rest. Well, that took a while, huh? I can only imagine how much of a task that would have been if you had to do it all by yourself. Truth be told, I probably would have given up partway in and just left the rest of the sharing. Thank you so much, Rean, for helping out. Well, sure, but while finding that photo, or it might have just been a coincidence, I doubt I would have looked around in Mother's room if you hadn't been there. If I hadn't, I discovered that or realized that maybe somewhere deep down she really does care. I think you would have. Even if not today, you'd realize eventually. Because remember, after all, the two of you will always have that connection as family, like it or not. I think the day will come when you two understand how much you care for each other with or without the photo show. And I'd like to think so as well, at least. Talking with you like this reminds me of when we had our field study here. We had a little heart about Mother back then, didn't we? In the same room. It was his room, actually. There's a lot I'm pretty thankful to you for, though. I wouldn't have been able to just free Mother over the city on my own. And this is hardly the first time you supported me or helped me accomplish something where I needed it most. So, for all the times I was too stubborn to say it, thank you, Rean. Hope I'll get a chance to repay you for this someday for everything. Repay me? Well, anyway, thanks for your help today. I'm gonna go now. See you later. Alright. I'm not sure what that was all about, but I guess I'd better get ready to head out too. I'm assuming some things like overgone for me. Anything like that, I wasn't sure what to expect when Lisa introduced me to him, but it seems like he really knows his stuff. I just wish I had a bit more of a refined. I just wish he had a bit more refined Danny's aura about him when I throw at Gwen. Then he'd be more my type. Next time you're in my face, terrifying press lift. You have no idea, Rean. All kidding aside, you should take this chance to make sure all your gear's in good top shape. There's no telling when you'll need to put it through some hard use. It always pays to be prepared. Maybe I should take this chance to have a good look around here too. Today, would you mind if I hung around here with you until your maintenance finish up? Now that I look around, there seem to be a lot of things here worth checking out. You can if you want, but I think what you really need is something else. What do you mean by that? Get your sword ready. As soon as he's finished with my gun, there's somewhere I want to take you. And turn out that somewhere ended up being the North Shore Highway. Right, I don't think anyone's gonna come barging and disturbing us all the way down here. Yeah, I doubt it, but why did you bring me here in the first place? You've told me not to forget my sword, so I'm guessing it's not a date. You've never been on a Sarah date. I hope you're ready to get all hot and heavy with me. As for ourselves through no holds barred combat training arm. Are you kidding me? And this time, I'm not going to hold anything back, so you better be ready. Only you find me looks like your life depends on it. You can leave this little resurgent in one or two ways. Walking to your head held high on a stretcher. I don't know what brought this on, but I can see this isn't one of your usual gags. In that case, I'll accept the challenge. You only get my best today. The Rean bow. For the world, terror came at Rean. All the fury of Ray's sword. Despite bringing the best of his skills to bear, he was just barely able to withstand her assault. How are you so strong? So this is what it's like when you're not pulling for the top. Damn straight. The world's not a nice place. It's not a fair place. But I fought tooth and nail for my place in it anyway. The road takes from you, too. I've lost almost all count of how many irreplaceable things was taken from me. so many friends out. I don't even have a homeland to call my own now. Stuff this. But did whatever I had to keep on living no matter what. I stand for you now in some of all those ugly, painful experiences. I've knocked you down over and over again, but if you rise just one more time, that makes you the victor. And that's something I've kept on believing, and seeing you choose to give it your all. That's the only strength for that belief. That's why I've decided that everything life has taught me in the school of hard knocks, I'm going to teach you. Not through words or less for offensive platitudes, but through battle. I'm ready to learn. You might have gotten the better of me before, about ready for round 2 anytime. Alright, boys. That waste time to chatting then. You ready? Rean focused everything on the fight, fitting off Schwarzer's ring also the best he could. After a long, difficult fight. Looks like neither of us had the energy going up and round. I guess we'll have to call this one a draw, but at the very least, I say we got into some good training. Well fought, Rean. Yeah, it's kind of scary how strong you are, though. It was all I could do to keep you at bay. I didn't even get a proper hit on you in the end. You could have, though. All you would have had to do was fire up that power of yours. And you should have, since you know I simply told you to fight like your life depended on it. But just messing with you. That consideration you always show for others is part of what makes you strong. I know you're still beating yourself up over what happened yesterday. That's totally understandable. But in the day, you've got to get past it and move on. No one can do that for you. But you will, though. I have no doubt about that. So just keep your chin up and your gaze forward, I guess. Thanks, instructor. I'll try at least. A lot of people are counting on me, and I don't want to let them down. Two stay rest for a while to get their strength back, and once they feel better, they walk back and back to the roar. I'm just gonna leave him and be come back when the crazy maintenance is done. I got my favorite, Laura. This is my first time seeing Roar. I must admit, I'm very impressed. My faces are high again. The rival company's present here. Alright, they say it's in shadow. I think this single shop alone is for more types of orbital goods than the entire hologram. I feel kind of like a child in a candy store, to be honest. There's so much I want to look at while I'm here. I could go for some window shopping. You know, if you look around together, nothing like shelves full of stuff to take your mind off things. By all means, let's see what this place has to offer. This is an orbital refrigerator. I noticed there's a large one in the courageous kitchen, but I wasn't entirely sure what it was at the time. Oh, now that you mention it, we do have one aboard, don't we? Being able to just stick food in there and have it stay fresh for our days is pretty awesome. So I wouldn't mind having one for myself for when I want to prepare a box lunch. How much does one cost? Maybe I'll consider one with my skill in cooking improves just enough just by the expenditure. Let's go back and look at somebody else. Right, she actually just she's free for 4 and she can't get one. What's this? The design is rather avant-garde. It says here that it's an orbital vacuum cleaner. You press the button on and it'll suck up dust and crumbs. So it's like orbital version of a broom, I guess. And that's not pretty neat. I'd like to give it a try. Let's see. First one, vacuum cleaner floor. I don't think you're supposed to just turn on appliances in the store like that. Sorry, I guess curiosity just got the better of me. I suppose I should turn it off then. Is this button do you press that? Why is riding around louder and more forcefully? Excuse me, miss. Yeah, well, you certainly seem none too pleased with us. I'm sorry, Rean. Don't worry about it. It's not often you see you get in trouble like that. I guess technology isn't your forte, huh? Apparently not. I mean, I'm interested in it, but very little experience actually using it. I think I'd be able to use all the appliances here if I had a chance to learn. Though, just like I did with our combat orbits. By the way, what are these? They're orbital wash machines by the look of it. You put your clothes in there and they'll wash them for you. Lisa had a few in her house from what I remember. Oh wow, that sure sounds convenient. Actually, I wonder how it works. Let me see. Not again. Oh, my apologies. Which one's turned off? This one? No, maybe this one. Yeah, I know. Please tell me you haven't done what I think you've done. I'm afraid it appears I've broken it. Excuse me, miss. Fortunately for Laura and Rean, the damage was much less severe than it looked, and they were able to repair the orbital watch machine. Billy was understandably furious, but thanks to their chancellor Lisa, he was kind enough to overlook what happened. So I can't believe I just made a blunder, not just once, but twice. Well, at least they were able to fix it, right? Well, all ends well, I guess. Still, it really does feel like you were born into the way of the sword. You don't need to make my lack of domestic skills sound like some kind of winning quality. I'm all too aware of the areas where I come up short, and I took up cooking in an effort to become more refined, but I was planning to admit that here. Still, I'm glad I got the chance to see a side of you no one else really has gotten to see. And hey, no one's good at everything. We've all got our weak spots. I'm not sure, but you and I aren't so different in that regard, you know? All of us have roles, and we're good at fulfilling. And for those we aren't, we need to learn to rely on others. I want you to promise me you won't try and shoulder everything yourself. All of us here, if you share the burden. Alright, you're right. Thanks, Laura. I'm glad you joined me. It was a lot of fun looking around together. Even more, but do continue. Even more, do continue. Facts about me. They will could prove useful in my lunchbox exploit. However, I won't be able to shy away forever. Glad you joined me. It was a lot of fun together. Even if Orbers do continue facts about me, they could prove useful in my lunchbox exploits. However, I won't be able to shy away forever. Yeah, but he was actually right. One of Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get sued. Get kicked out.
Right.
Wow, that must have been tough.
Yeah, it was.
I'm so proud of you, Rean.
Greetings, my lady.
How are you feeling, Valimar? The battle yesterday must have been pretty hard on you.
I am fine. The damage to my armor and lost mod have largely recovered. I expect to be in peak condition before our next battle.
That's good to hear. Just listening to you talk, you really have changed since we first met. You seem to be talking a little more like a human now.
Is that so? That would suggest that my memory is slowly recovering.
What's that now?
The part of me in which memories are stored appears to be damaged. I have very few memories of the past, such as why I was sealed within the old schoolhouse to begin with. This includes my memories of language. Thus far, I have had to rely on the preset bare minimum of speech functionality. However, thanks in great part to your assistance, my speech functionality is slowly beginning to restore itself.
Does that mean that your memories of the past are starting to return too?
It is an indistinct memory, as if clouded by white noise. I seem to recall someone burdened by a great sadness, much like yourself.
That obvious, huh? I look that burdened to you? Someone died right before my eyes, and I was powerless to stop them. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I might have been able to stop it from happening. And that regret's like a thorn stabbing into my heart. Was the person in your memory able to move past their burdens?
I am unable to find any memories that answer that question. However, I believe that your sense of regret is an entirely natural process for humans. Is that not the case?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Give thought to what you would do differently if confronted by the same situation again. If I can aid you, I shall.
Yeah, you're right. I can't undo the past, but I can at least make sure I don't make the same mistake a second time. Perhaps considering how to do that is the best thing that I can do right now. Thanks, Valimar. I feel a little better after talking to you.
Then all is well. I am afraid I must return to sleep. Should you require my aid again, you need only to call my name.
I need to keep on getting stronger. Strong enough that I can protect the people around me. The ship's maintenance is probably almost done now. Maybe I should take a nap or something while I wait for the others to get here? Yes, this is Rean Schwarzer speaking.
Hey there, Rean. George here. Do you have a minute?
George, is something wrong?
Well, I'm over at the Ruhr Institute of Technology at the moment. And an acquaintance of mine here has a pretty interesting proposal regarding your Divine Knight. How soon do you think you can come over?
A proposal?
Well, it's the Institute's president, actually. Professor Schmidt, the Empire's foremost orbital researcher.
Man, where's the voice acting? Yo, the voice acting. Name's G. Smith. I serve as this institute's president. I certainly would expect the pilot of the Action Knight to only a boy. The Lions ought to be damn near ashamed of themselves if they keep losing to a snot-nosed brat like you. Damn. I don't think that's any way to talk to the person he's only just met. Besides, he happens to be one of the students who helped get you that minor medal earlier in the year. And one of the students put out that request without any input from me. And you should be kissing my boots for having the honor of assisting with my research, however indirect it was. Yeah, damn, Schmidt. Some things never change. Putting that aside, is it true? Were you the one responsible for dealing Panzer Sodots? It is. Lukai made a request and I agreed to it. I used an ancient robot Ordine inside Arcadium as a reference point, and then designed a frame that could be mass-produced even with the Rhine for company's technological capabilities. Afterward, I drew up plans for several models and oversaw the completion of the Draken prototype a few months back. Why do you ask? Do you have any idea what you've done? Tell you what your time, Rean. He develops whatever catches his interest, loses himself in it until he's done, and to hell the consequences. Railway guns, the Royal Fortress, and the orbital jamming device in Nor were both designed by him too. Unbelievable. An engineer who doesn't strive to satisfy the intellectual curiosity, the sad side of an engineer. To an extent, yeah, but you have to be aware of the, implications as well. We just design things. It's up to their users to decide what to do with them. Like, you get it now? It was because I couldn't cope with this part of him that I ended up going to the academy over there. Yeah, I totally get it, unfortunately. Alright, what made you come visit the professor to begin with? Of course, that was what I called you here for. I was hoping I might be able to get some kind of advice or pointers from him. You know about getting a new weapon for Valimar? Oh. Yeah, no shit.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice, get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
George told me about what you're after. He says you want a weapon capable of fighting on equal terms because they're night. We might still have gone our separate ways, but we still form a student of mine. Open to possibility to design something for you. Really? You'd make a weapon for Valimar? I said I'd be open to possibility. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you want my help, I have one condition. Cimmerian ore. Ringing bells for you, Rean? I think so. You used to make weapons for us before, didn't you, George? Oh, you know of it? Saving the effort explaining to them. It's extremely rare ore found here in Zemuria. It's an astounding strong material that possesses a mysterious radiance within it. And there's more. As I learned while developing the Sodas, the frames of Divine Knights are made of that very ore. Your ashes not included. I had no idea. The double saber Ordine uses appears to be made of it too. Which, as I'm sure you figured out, means if you're ever going to compete against Crow, you're going to need a Tachi made of Cimmerian ore too. To make one, however, you're going to need vast quantities of ore. Yeah, it was only recently discovered how to refine that ore. Processing will be immensely difficult. Just bring me some materials, and I'll be willing to assist. Bring me the materials, and I'll be willing to assist you. The concept of a weapon that can compete against Divine Knights is of great interest to me. Even when you're helping people, it's only to help yourself. It'd be nice if you were doing it to atone for developing Sodas, but I can't picture those words coming out your mouth. That very thought makes me feel ill. Bear in mind, Zemarian ore is an incredibly rare metal. I doubt you'll find enough of it to get the job done. Still, should you pull it off, I'll design you the finest Tachi you'll have ever laid eyes on. My name is Engineer, I can promise you that. Thank you, Professor. This will be a great help to us. We're going to find all of the Zemarian ore we can to make this work. And I'll keep my expectations low. The advice Rean received on forging a new weapon for Valimar came from a surprising course, but they could not have asked for better. After politely excusing themselves, Rean and George left the institute at night with the rest of the crew. I have to tell you, I'm impressed. I was making this bit of a shift to be on the fight side, but she's a real sweet girl. Cutting through the clouds like this feels wonderful. I can get used to this. Wow, I can't believe how quickly you've gotten the hang of it, Angelica. Neither can I. But I think it's obvious who's more qualified to sit here between the two of us. This job's all yours now. Anyway, thank you. I brought to the position of Chief Helmsman and courageous second in command. It really is amazing. There's no one out there who can contain a vehicle as fast as Angie. We're not going to have to worry about a thing with her around. Moving along, right along, the good news is that we were able to liberate war. I don't think any of us could have predicted how the war situation would change in the process. Marquis Wagner and his provincial armies withdrawal from the conflict will have a profound effect going forward. Losing one of their key members is bound to be a painful loss to the Alliance. For one thing, it would make things easier for Lieutenant General Banner and the 3rd Armored Division. The greatest concern before now was the North Ship Provincial Army, after all. The Alliance's overwhelming supremacy is finally starting to sway. Only needs ceremony, though. They still come out top in the West. When I first over, it said as much too. General Rean and Brigadier General Barrios are out there putting one victory after another. And then it's your brother Eustace. He's a brilliant leader, and it shows. I see. But yeah, as it may, all we can do is focus our efforts on the Eastern Front for now. That's what we were entrusted with, and praying over things we can't change won't do us any good, right? That's pretty correct. Yes, we've got our hands. We've got our hands full over here as it is, so let's make every moment count. time to get back to gathering all the info we can. Speaking of, mind giving us an update on the situation about Valmar's ripping the Rean? Oh, right, I would forget. Professor Schmidt agreed to cooperate with us, didn't he? Cooperate is a strong word, at least he only cares about what interests him. That it ends up anything is purely secondary. And remember, he's only going to help if we have to find enough Zemurian ore to make the weapon. How we're going to get the stuff that rare is beyond me, though. You said that Valmar himself made us that ore, did you not? You wouldn't have to have any ideas, would you, Emma? I'm afraid the Hexen clan knows very little concerning the creation of the Divine Knights. Some legends passed down through the clan say that they were made during the time of the Great Collapse. Specifically, they were forged by artisans who called themselves gnomes. That's an interesting name. I know the term from old stories much like anyone else, but I had no idea a man of artisans by that name existed. So they once were close to the Hexen clan's ancestors. But somewhere down the line, the witches and gnomes ended up parting ways. I couldn't exactly tell you when. I'm curious. Maybe so, but none of that is going to help us find any ore. Any chance of finding enough where pretty soon to begin with. I know where you can get enough. Knowing you wouldn't overcome some very difficult trials to obtain it. Alright, Celine, you do? Fuck you, really? What do you say? Game of line. Where are those strange rules here over the country, right? Oh yeah, where the higher elements were active. Those are the ones that are called spirit shrines. They were built on top of Scythian veins long ago by the gnomes to encourage the formation of massive Zemurian ore crystals. Those crystals in turn used to create the Divine Knight. So if there's any place in your building to start looking for the vast amount you need, it's there. I had no idea. Why didn't you tell us before now? Am I supposed to be a mind reader? I wasn't exactly relevant until now. Why bring it up? I don't need to buy our heads off, bitch. Okay, hey, she told us now, right? All we gotta do is go over in those shrines and be rolling ore. So we've got a lot on our plate on checking about our country and exploring our shrines, spending our best easy at. Perhaps if it might be a little thing like a trial isn't gonna scare us away, right? Right. This one's from Klein. Does it? This one, Fan PP. What's this ring belt letter? Back antics. Gorpy, you're always welcome. Fuck. You cunt. Terry. Okay, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. We can see you fighting Clint Bell, yeah. Some Crusaders. Usually matter armies. How about you? Rise right, yeah. And Europe has to worry about that. Can't wait. Okay, bitch. The level of your mother and Yoko saving the courageous was able to help in rescuing them both makes me very proud of you. And thank you for kindness, Your Highness. I'm sure my mother will be just fine now. She is here to help. I'll be doing the best I can for everyone here, just like you've been doing all the time. I'm sure that's what I have everyone to care about. Remember, that leaves you free to focus your mind. Fuck you. Such simply ringing, right? I mean, It's been so long since I had just had thrown across before. Wearing since we like Riggy's for miss, old fashioned. I've worked for one serious affairs here. Okay, whatever, man. A lot better now that Andrew wasn't buying shit. Sure gotten used to it, but she seems like she's more productive. But this time we've been needing gunnery off her, so like a plan. Oh shit, I get focused. Give me third. Yeah, so alright. Oh, is that my fault? I give you extra. No, later. Okay, sorry.
Right.
To my dear friends in Class 7, I've taken the liberty of preparing an enjoyable diversion to spice up your mundane day-to-day lives a little.
To raise the bar. Realize raise the radius. Knocked out. Let's try the test.
I hope you'll enjoy this little experiment. I know I certainly will.
Still one of our classmates.
Now, let the game begin. Dance for me a beautiful...
Okay, guys, so I didn't mean to do this, but it's all right for us in here. Busting our 3 out. Peace with you all. To Hannah Lucy. Bye bye. Have a damn good one.